if you're going to be effective, you have to be part of an effective group.
So yeah, you kind of answered it already, but if you should sum it up, what does BlueDolphin mean to you? Why is it so important to you?
Well, the first realization we talked about earlier, which is if you're going to be effective, you have to be part of an effective group. No matter how smart you are, or how hard you could work, or how productive you are, as an individual person, you're too vulnerable to tunnel vision. And so that group, in order to work, they have to have some sort of like effective method. They have to have a box. So BlueDolphin has a box, some form of TOC. But if it's going to be a group that's fun to work in, to use another of Wolfram's term, they have to also be outside of the box at the same time, right? So they have to be a group who, when they're trying to deal with problems, is both really skilled at applying their box and very willing to step out and say, maybe something doesn't quite fit here. Maybe we should do something else. Maybe we should think of something else. And that is a rare combination. I've tried working with various groups, and almost all of them are very deeply committed to their box. They're convinced their box has real advantages, which they have demonstrated in the past. They're very evangelistic about getting people to understand their box and being able to use their box, all of which is fine. But to actually be effective, I think you have to have something sort of like Wolfram's sense of humor, right? Yes, you have to be able to use your box, but you have to also see the joke, right? And after all, a joke is just when all of a sudden you see something that you normally see inside of a box, but you see the context and it's funny, right? So not only does BlueDolphin's approach work, it's extremely respectful of the people that it's working with. That's really important to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, wonderful. Ken, we are already at an end. When should people reach out to you? What do you have to offer?
Well, my biggest interest right now, one of the observations about TOC that if you do it full bore, it can be complicated and difficult. So one of the things I like to think about is things people could do when their organization perhaps wasn't fit and ready to undertake the big effort like TOC, that might nevertheless do some good for them and help get them more in a position. The thing I think most about right now, and the thing I'm looking for people to try and work with, is to co-opt domain-driven design's idea about a ubiquitous vocabulary. So I'm working with a client right now, doing a small project, but part of the deal with him is that we would develop a ubiquitous language for the project. So with a ubiquitous language, you have the language is actually written out as a series of statements, and then it's used for planning purposes, but it also is written into the code base. So if there's a sentence, saying like, batches are stored in inventory, somewhere in the code, there will be references to inventory and batches, so that the code and the stakeholders are all speaking the same language when they're talking about the work. It's being very surprising. The developments are being very surprising. It changes the way I build things. It changes the client experience. And it's a limited, narrow focus sort of thing. Could easily be combined with something like event storming. But just the idea that we have some stakeholders and we're trying to work on something. My interest right now is to say, I could help you develop and use a ubiquitous language in this situation. And like, lubricating oil, that would make everything else work better. That, lots of problems would go away. That's the thrust of my attention right now, is to find some projects that I can work on like that, because I think there's a lot of possibility there.
Definitely. So wonderful. Thanks a lot, Ken.
As usual, Michael, it's been a blast.
What services does BlueDolphin offer, and how do they help your customers, and how can they get in touch with you? How can they get more information?
Okay, what is BlueDolphin? I think BlueDolphin is the first, and the really first worldwide community of people who want to do self-organized changes based on theory of constraint. Okay, and what is this? In the end, a theory of constraints is all about getting more output in a very short time without adding pressure to the people and additional resources. That's theory of constraints. And the self-organization part is coming to this point, even in huge organization, in a very, very fast way. And our aim as Dolphins is, of course, to share this knowledge and make it available to as many organizations as possible around the world. So our service is being a community, exchanging ideas, exchanging experience, and make this happen. There are friends of BlueDolphin, that's the smallest version. There you get invitations to our gatherings, you get a newsletter, you get coffee breaks, small information bites. And of course, you get all the support you need to get it started. And there's, of course, a paid membership. And if you are a paid member, then you get additionally service. You get access to the whole community, to the whole network of dolphins with all their experience and knowledge how to do it. There will be question and answer sessions. There will be coffee breaks, even more and better ones. There will be knowledge updates if someone learned something. And you get access to our whole body of knowledge. That's something around 2 gigabytes of data. It's books, it's PDFs, articles, it's small videos and useful links, and even Excel tools to get started right away. So you have access to the whole body of knowledge of the whole BlueDolphin network, and that's very valuable, by the way. And the third part, of course, and the third service is, if you want to really get started, sometimes you need to convince your boss, and we are helping in this. And sometimes it's a little better to have some guidance, some coaching through the BlueDolphin process to really get your success as fast as possible. And of course, we as BlueDolphin, we offer help in this. So we are a community from the beginning to the end, just to make you successful and your company. If you want to join, it's very easy. Just open browser, type in https://blue-dolphin.world, and there's a contact formula. Just get in contact, and you are welcome to swim with us in the ocean as a blue dolphin.